smells just like the Theopolis dueling pits.
Dodri Darktongue is the insidious infection that threatens to make septic the great and terrible wound that is Sarn. However, any certainty that I had as to her exact whereabouts has been sundered by the sheer stench of her presence. We shall have to deduce her location from those who know the area best. These locals that cling to Sarn like hungry maggots. Farewell.
Here for a deal? Our charismatic leader is a man worthy of his position. He takes the front, the lead. I prefer to support things from a safe distance, and he, great man that he is, lets me do it. I've been on my fair share of quests and campaigns, and they keep trying to arm me and train me for fighting, telling me it was the only way I would find renown. But I aim to be the world's first famous supply master. That Rog, they'll say, he brought food and drink and equipment forth so promptly and so consistently it amazed the warriors on both sides and helped win the day. Danning tells me that this is a worthy dream to pursue. He's a good friend. Don't eat the mushrooms.
Need something? We've campaigned together for many years. It's taken a great toll on him, but he soldiers on. I don't know how he remains so cheery, honestly. If he loses another limb, he'll be more metal than man. He's a sweetheart. Have you seen the figurines he carves? The four of us use them to play this delightfully strange game he came up with. I love it because there are so many dice rolls and, well, you know me. Our intrepid leader believes in a world better than the one that truly is. He doesn't see you and me, Exile. He sees heroes. He sees grandiose myths and world-changing bravery. Don't dispel those notions. I want to live in the world he sees, even if I know it isn't real. Go well.
Aye. Many a campaign would have failed if not for his logistical skills. We've trekked through mud, rain, snow and sand, and yet eaten heartily throughout. It's the true basis of war, mind you, logistics. Don't think we don't know that. He's a good man, a man of two worlds. Part aspire and dreamer, part cynical realist. I'll follow him to the ends of the world, which you know, because I already have. And here we are. Don't give up.
Welcome.
Good to see you in Sarn once again. I wish that we could be greeting under fairer skies, yet this city remains clouded in strife. Lunaris, eternal goddess of the moon, and her sister Solaris of the sun have risen to reclaim what was once their own. Siblings equal in strength, mighty twin rivers converging, sweeping all before them. We are cornered animals, awaiting the deluge that will surely drown us. Yet there exists a pair of ancient treasures, the sun orb and the moon orb. They are our hope, our desperation. Grigor is the butterfly that has lost its wings to a cruel child, and this place of respite has become a cage for his pain, a breeding ground of bad memory. We spoke, and Grigor shared his resolve with me. He can no longer live with the torment that piety has injected into his heart. Like the warrior poet he is, Grigor has ventured into the unknown to find a cure for his body and mind, or die in the attempt. The dead do not love the living, and the living cannot love the dead. People fear what they do not understand. I understand, Clarissa. I am not frightened of her. I am frightened for her. They walked our earth in the times of great strife, cruel and hideous shadows cast against the clay wall of ruined abode. Thaumaturge Malachi grew them out of the vain ambitions of his dark imaginings. Emperor Chittis believed the legionnaires belonged to him, that Gemline men would beat to the drum of his own crystalline heart. But as the silhouette of the Emperor faltered and fell, burned out by the light of true men, some of the Legion remained. The cataclysm turned Legionnaire into monster, another mindless man of undeath. Yet this captain seems to have regained his faculties, some of his old warrior intelligence. I worry for the rest of his soldiers, how they may grow from mindless killing machines into something far worse. Be well. Talamoana?
Good to see you still soldiering on. With all these gods in past horrors wandering around Sarn, I don't assume anyone's alive and kicking these days.
If Sarn wasn't mad enough, now we've got some whip-tongued hag cooking up a stinking curse in the sewers. Took it from her mother-in-law at first. But no, based on my meager historical knowledge, I reckon we have a certain Dodry Darktongue to contend with. Where in blazes is she hiding? I've no idea. So, the only way we're going to catch this witch is by getting our hands, and possibly a lot more, well and truly dirty. And by we, I mean you, of course. The sewers are no place for a simple businessman like me. Do us a favour. Head into them sewers and track that old hag down. Get her to reveal herself, and put her down. Ha! Better your eyes than mine, eh? Quite the pretty pair, aren't they? Yeah, it's pretty bloody disturbing. That girl was once the sweetest lass I could name. Nowadays she's barking as batshite over that living corpse of hers. All it would take is a quick hard bash with a rock, and Tolman would no longer be a problem. Tempting, don't you think? Needing my eclectic expertise again, are we? Solaris and Lunaris got front and centre stage among them folks at the Eternal Empire. Solaris was thought to be the light of leadership, guiding and enlightening each emperor that sat the throne. In practice, most of them emperors turned out to be a bit dim. But then history and theology have never quite seen eye to eye. As for Lunaris, a goddess of the moon and earth, the mother of dreams and inspiration. Doesn't sound like a bad lady until you consider that dreams harbour nightmares, and that inspiration is just one notion shy of insanity. Grigor left without a single word to me, rude bugger. But I suspect his poetic soul has been drawn back home to Izmir. A long journey, but a trip worth taking to find solace among one's own people. Of course, they'll get quite the shock when they see him. Let's hope familial love is as nearsighted as they say. There are the fine tales Grigor will be able to tell them, of course. Come to think of it, now that Dominus has been knocked off his perch, there's nothing to stop the Izmites from learning a thing or two from Grigor's stories. They might even consider invading this jewel in Wraeclast's tarnished crown. I certainly hope they have just such an eye for opportunity. A man could make a tidy sum helping said invaders navigate Sarn and its many hazards. Don't do anything I would.
Ah!
Greetings. If we are to see the dawn of a new era for humankind, the sun must be taught to behave herself. Upon that mighty span between Sarn's left hand and its right, Solaris burns to consume every single moment of existence. Sparing no thought for life and its needs, she would see the world parched barren before she yields to reason. The sun must be allowed to set so that it may rise again as a blessing, not a curse. Self-loving Solaris, all the light in the world yet blinded by her own pride. Not once did she pause to question the truth of her sister's betrayal. Instead, she gloated over her sister's transgressions, proclaiming herself greater and more honorable than Lunaris could ever be. I suppose one shouldn't be surprised when a sun deity takes the higher ground. We approach the zenith of our divine hunt, upon the bridge that chokes the great, wet throat of Sarn. Lunaris, in her cold fury, has forgotten that the warming sun of morning is as life-giving as the cooling damp of evening. The empire Lunaris dreams of shall be lit by moon and twinkling stars, and life itself shall wither away in the perpetual night. one of two sisters who ruled the most populous and powerful of the ancient Asmerian tribes. Solaris was thought to guide the sun across the sky with threads of shimmering gold, whilst Lunaris saw to the wax and wane of moon with a sickle of purest silver. It was a peaceful partnership until the trickster tongue Mazu happened upon their domain. In turning sister against sister, he saw to the massacre of thousands, whilst concealing the source of their futile feud beyond all reckoning. Feel no pity for the moon. She is a cold and distant fool, far less radiant than she would suppose. Remember, humanity needs us.
Sarn is changing, and so are we who live here. There, Tolman. Don't you worry. I love you. I'll think of something. You told me Tolman was gone. You were wrong. I found him. No, Tolman, I never gave up on you. His soul remains, flickering deep down inside. Oh, Tolman, I know you're in pain, but it'll be over soon, I promise. My heart aches for Grigor. I know the battle in which he's engaged. It's like my own, a fight to make sense of life in a land that deems life to be worthless. I don't know where he's gone, but I do know he's looking to find himself, his true self, as we all must do in our own time. By all accounts, Tarkus Veruso was a ruthless despot, a man to rival even the likes of Dominus. Yet his heart of stone contained one precious theme, his love for his wife, Kiara. So when the poor young woman died giving birth to Veruso's son, the grieving emperor threw aside his great convictions and placed his last hope in thaumaturgy, in the Ankh of eternity. Perhaps it was shame that drove Tarkus to lock the Ankh away, to steal such hopes from his descendants. It was he who had asked his people to turn their backs on the ancient arts, so what right had he to enjoy that which he forbade? Love gave him that right. As I understand it, the Ankh of Eternity was somehow able to return the dead to the full bloom of life. There was nothing necromantic about it. Rather, it was a source of true resurrection. How it came to exist, I honestly don't know. A couple of inscriptions I read treated the Ankh as some sort of gift to Veruso from the Val. But surely the Val were long gone by Veruso's time, weren't they? No matter. Despite the vagaries of the Ankh's origins, Veruso used the Ankh to return his young wife from the deathbed to the wedding bed. The accounts are unanimous on that point. As it was for Veruso's love, so shall it be for mine. Bye.
It's hard to look good when I'm always braving sewers.
Over here.
After that, I need a bath.
Once more into the breach, and once more we return victorious. Although I have to admit, I did not relish the sensation of imbibing that foul witch's soul. I felt decidedly unclean. Still, our journey nears completion. To the north lies Highgate and the cessation of our efforts to extract the dark ember from my dearly departed beast. And none too soon. Every hour, Katava's strength grows, and the longer he and the other gods dwell on this land, the less is humanity's chance of survival.
You are? Ready to revisit the past? The more you kill, the more you change my map. And the closer we get to finding the temple in the present day. Let's go. Hello? Good job, Exile.
A whole room filled with dangerous strongboxes packed to the brim with treasure. You're my favorite person, Exile.
The temple looms closer with each new step. Find me again, and we'll continue our task. Hello. There you are. Ready to revisit the past? The more you kill, the more you change my map. And the closer we get to finding the temple in the present day. Time to go. Harper's rival is dead. I can hear the jewels raining down from here. I cannot wait to find this temple. The temple looms closer with each new step. Find me again, and we'll... Greeting.
Give it to me quickly. Finally, Tolman. We can be together as before. All right. Let's begin. Suffering will besiege us, and yet love will prevail. Pain will imprison us, and yet love will prevail. Grief will engulf us, and yet love will prevail. Death will surely take us, and love will... No. This isn't right. This is... Tolman, please. Forgive me. Exile. I've been so stupid. Russo didn't hide the Yunk out of shame. He hid it out of fear. Out of... Oh my. What did the Yunk really do to his wife? Everything I saw that I read. Lies to cover the truth of what Kiara had really become. All right. I'll destroy the Yunk. We've come a long way since Russo's day, so I'm thinking I can manage where he so sorely failed. At least that's something I know I can do right. I'll meet you back at the encampment soon. Now I need to... Okay, I'll just see you there. I promise. How could I...
Things we do for love.
Ready to revisit the past? The more you kill, the more you change my map. Time to go. Ikwani doesn't get his title for nothing, I see. He's been very industrious in keeping himself alive and in business. The temple looms closer with each...
can't do this just yet. Honorable deaths. My gift to you, gemlings.
Captain Osiris. Remain in the warehouse until I personally send for you. In the unlikely event that Chitus should fall, you and your fellow legionnaires will be safely beyond the perimeter of his heart gem's influence. You men and women are my finest work yet. I would not lose you all to some aberration of chance. Malachi, Thaumaturge Laureate.
I can't do this just yet.
Poor Tolman. He was never really with me, was he? Just the shell of a man I loved. Wherever he is now, I hope he is at peace and that he can forgive me for not being able to let go. Here, take something, for at least helping me. And thank you for everything. See you. Need something?
These owl eyes of mine have been watching the sun goddess from afar. The sun orb lies within her temple, guarded by her most ardent devotee, an exile who, in his insanity, has taken to calling himself the Dawn. That orb is the seed that must be stolen from this new son of hers and planted at the feet of his ancient mother. I've been keeping a close eye on that exile-turned-sycophant who calls himself the Dusk. Dusk carried the moon orb into the Linares temple and has not returned with it, not as far as I have seen. No doubt he clings to that orb like it's his adopted mother's own nurturing breast. If you were to wean him from the teat and place that orb at the bereft mother's feet, we may yet see the moon itself fall. My courageous hawk removes yet another snake from the long grass. I offer you a reward, but my mind remains unsettled. The captain lies rotting in the ground, buzzing with flies. But if Gemling legionnaires can regain their sentience, then can all the monstrosities of the Undying do the same? My thoughts turn to the burrows and chambers beneath the earth of Sarn. Could there be some new, undead civilization growing and preparing itself underground at this very moment? Such thoughts do not make for easy sleeping. Talakura, go with courage. If I am a watchful owl, then you are the courageous hawk, swooping with sharpened talons to wrench the serpent from the child's neck. Clarissa will bear that wound for the rest of her life, but I'm glad you were there to save her from following poor Tolman into the dirt. Perhaps now that Clarissa has lost her love of death, she will finally be able to embrace life. Goodbye.
You'd suppose someone as crafty as Dodri would have kept her ugly head under wraps as soon as she saw you coming. I guess death robs us of many things, including our common sense. In any case, thank you. The sewers can run clear now that there's no fetid witch clogging up the pipes. Here, have a little something to commemorate your fine clean-up job. Tell me something. Any chance you might be willing to join forces and turn a healthy profit with old Argon? You ever heard of the wings of Visteri? Not just another damned artifact. This one was the highest symbol of the office of the Meraketh, held by the Sakhima of Sakhimas. History books will say the wings were last worn by Sakhima Asenath, the Golden Sakhima, the one who went and got herself murdered by Hector Tatutius. The only problem is that Tatutius himself is up and guarding his pretties once more. Still, if you can recover those wings of Asteri, then I'm confident I can sell them back to the Meraketh for a fair sum. They're a cultural icon after all, dripping with sentimental value. What do you say? What little humanity General Tatutius was born with, he traded in for strength. Went as far as to have Malachi replace his joints with virtue gems. Mad bastard. Afterwards, Emperor Chittus charged Tatutius with subduing the Meraketh. A job he took a little too much pleasure in, if you ask me. Bring me back something nice, huh? What's going on? Don't do anything I would.
I can't do this just yet.
proper good find. This'll do nicely, Exile. Over here. This'll do nicely, Exile.
I could hardly hope for better results.
Hello.
I can't do this just yet.
Parade your victories, hide your defeats. Mortals are so insecure.
I do love the stink of victory. I can't do this just yet.
night of 1,000 ribbons, our finest city burned. It burned with fires lit by cruelty and neglect. It burned with shame for giving the title of emperor to a man who did not deserve it. Allow your wisdom to be tempered by the flames of the past.
I can't do this just yet. I believe in traveling light. I believe in traveling light.
In death, the mirrors are thus shattered. Yugal was a cautionary tale. The only way to truly understand fear is to become it. Goodbye.
I've never been scared of mirrors. After all, I'm in them.
Need some help? Be careful.
There'll be time for that soon enough.
Tala.
So it was that bloody scholar after all, was it? Sick bastard. Well, he's gone now, and I hope you made sure he suffered like those poor kiddies he tormented. I'd have toasted him nice and slow like a spitted pig. See how he'd like them apples stuffed in his mouth. Here, have something for keeping us safe from the divine undesirables of this world. Bring me back something nice, huh? You found them! No easy feat, I bet. How's old Hector these days? Not so good after you crossed paths with him, am I right? I'll polish these wings up and get them back to their owners, just as soon as my Marraketh friend can get her folks to pay the ransom. Price, I mean. In the meantime, take a little something from my stock as payment. Well, they're forged from solid gold. I can tell you that much. But I suppose that's not really what you're asking about. The wings are a treasured piece of the Marraketh heritage. Back when the tribes quit their squabbling and joined hands to battle the Eternal Empire, the wings were seen as a symbol of their unity. The Golden Sekhema wore them as she led the whole bloody Marraketh horde against Sarn. She was a single greatest hope for the Marraketh, was that Asenath. Hector Tatutius crushed both their hopes and their precious Sekhema. Good luck to you.
May humanity flourish.
I can't do this just yet. The blood is washed away, but I will never forget what you became, Veneer. I can't do this just yet. I can't do this just yet.
What is it? Be careful. See you. Yes. See you.
Can't do this just yet.
Solaris, Lunaris. Eclipse cold pride, flaming rage, and pass beyond this human age. Sun and Moon return to their rightful places, leaving our path now clear. Highgate lies ahead, Beastslayer, and a debt that is long overdue. On this road there are the goddesses of Marraketh to be reckoned with, and they will not take kindly to our endeavor. Regardless, I must enter the corpse of my beloved beast and wrest our sliver of hope from the life you so blindly took. There is no prophecy nor portent, no epic nor allegory that can promise your survival in this great journey of ours. For despite your trappings, you remain most certainly, irrevocably, mortal.
A shame. I would have enjoyed further sparring matches with those two.